The issues that brought me in for treatment were a lot of pain in my feet. That was the biggest one. I have arthritis in general in a lot of places, and rosacea. I also have Derkham's disease, which is a rare fat disorder and causes fluid buildup all over. And I was hoping that the stem cell treatment would help with that as well. I've seen a lot of difference since the treatment. Arthritis in general, all the joint pains has backed off a lot, and the biggest example of that is the 2 hurricanes that came through. Florence came through right before, the week before I had my treatment, and I was hurting very, very much when that came through. The low barometric pressure of the storm made all of my joints hurt. I was sitting on heating pads, couldn't do much of anything. When Michael came through, that was 2-3 weeks after the treatment, and I hardly felt anything when it came through, and it should have been about the same from a barometric change perspective and all of that. So I saw that as a huge win, that things didn't hurt nearly as bad. Another big thing that has happened is I've lost weight. I've only lost about 4 or 5 pounds, but I'm down at least a clothes size. And that's from the fluid buildup from the Derkham's disease. It seems like everything just seems to be melting away as far as the fluid buildup. And the fluid loss, the weight loss, makes a big difference in all of my joints, makes a big difference in the pain level in my feet. But I came back today for a second treatment for my feet. So hopefully feet will be doing really good in a couple of days, and that will be our big goals. Well, the big goal was the feet, so I'm keeping my feet.
We enjoy an active lifestyle. We do like to go on vacation. We do like to go to the beach, and we used to enjoy walking on the beach, but that changed a few years back when she began to have knee problems, and they began to hurt her.
It started out gradually. When I'd sit down, my knees would just bother me to be bent, and then I wound up having to take a little box with me somewhere to sit and put my feet up on to prop them up so that they would feel better. And then I couldn't be up very long walking on them, or even standing still in a certain spot or anything like that. They would really hurt. I had to give up a lot of things that I enjoyed doing, such as walking down the beach or just walking in general. I used to enjoy being able to just get outside and walk around and stuff and do things, and so I had to give all that up because it just really bothered me, and I couldn't even clean my house because it was very bothersome and painful. I went to an orthopedic doctor about that, and that was what he told me. I had those 2 options, either surgery or you get the Synvis shots. And so we opted to do the shots because I did not want to have surgery. And when I had those shots, they did not help at all. There was one day I received something in the mail. It was actually addressed to my mother. My mother passed away 2 years ago, so I opened the envelope, and it was talking about the Regenerative in South Carolina and what they were doing, and I decided to check into that. And so we went to a seminar about that and learned a lot about the stem cells, and so we had that done, and I have had wonderful results from it.
Definitely, within the first few weeks of her going to these sessions, she was able to get out and do stuff that she had not been doing in years. I remember her getting ready to go outside, and I asked her, I said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I'm going to wash the van." I said, "You're going to what?" She said, "I'm going to wash the van." I said, "We were going to do that today." She said, "I know, but I feel like it. I feel good enough. I want to go do it." That's what made a difference for me, is seeing her attitude change in, well, I can't do that because my knees hurt. And now it's, my knees feel better, I'm going to do that. And that's made a big difference. It's made a really big difference.
I really am enjoying life a lot better now than what I used to enjoy just a few short months ago even.
Seeing the change in her, I highly recommend it for anyone who has a lot of pain, and some doctors are saying that surgery is your only option. I strongly disagree.
Since I've moved to South Carolina, it seems that I have just found my home away from home. It's my adventure, seeing as I just turned 70. I had to have a hip replaced, and then a year later I had a second hip replaced. And the second hip replacement was a bear. It really, really bothered me. Lots and lots of pain. And on top of that, I have horrible knees. The doc said I was going to have a knee replacement, and I'm like, hey, I'm not going through any more surgeries, particularly since I've had these issues with my hip. So he suggested that perhaps I try the stem cells. And I had said, I'm in. And I went ahead. I had them injected in my knees, both knees, either side, and in my hip, and in my SI joints in my back. I feel like I can walk again without pain. My hip is much improved. I would say I'm about 90% back, and I'm 70, so I'm not expecting to be 35 again. But I sure would like to be as good as I can be at my age, and I feel like I'm getting there. You have nothing to lose. You have your life to gain back. It's been a gradual process, but I've got to tell you, they're working. It's just awesome.